My name's Julia Macmillan. I'm CEO of toyboywarehouse.com. Toyboywarehouse.com is a lifestyle and dating site for women and younger men. I'm actually an artist. I had no idea how to set up a dating site at all, but it was the summer of 2006. And I tried a bit of online dating myself, and I've always had younger boyfriends. No one was catering for that market. And I also thought these sites are so boring. It's like doing a job application. A dating site could be so much more fun. People will stay on the site for longer. And so I went about setting it up myself. I didn't know how to do it in the beginning. I found some open source software free because I don't have loads of money to do it. So I did it fairly cheaply. I had a few good art commissions that year, so I was able to fund it. And I found some open source software. I found a programmer who was prepared to customize it for me. And so we set about customizing it. And then before we even beta launched it, I started getting national press. And it's kind of like a roller coaster. Once you get one piece, it was in the Saturday Telegraph, you get more and more. And we've had loads of press and done about 5 pieces of TV, 21 radio interviews, and continual media interest in the whole idea. I have actually had 2 businesses before. The first one, straight after I left university, I thought I wanted to be a fashion designer, set it up, but I was far too young to know that it actually works a lot on marketing, so I was too young to make it work, but moved on from that, went off to live in Italy, worked in the film business, had another fashion business in Italy. It just didn't work really because we couldn't expand it into a sort of commercial business. But I would say my experience in those 2 businesses really helped in this third business, which is my first internet business. And what G2I did was make you look at all the areas of your business, which perhaps you'd overlooked one part of it, or the legalities of it, or the due diligence, or all those things that really are important. G2I makes you scrutinize all those issues and make sure you're ready to go forward. So that's why it's so useful. I came across G2I, actually I can't remember how I came across G2I. Somebody must have recommended it. We started going on the whole network of internet entrepreneur parties, and someone said it's a great thing to do. So last summer, I and my financial director in waiting, when we get the funding, she will be fully that, did the 4-day course, which I would highly recommend. It was absolutely fantastic. It really hones your pitch. It teaches you what an investor would want to hear. It tightens up your whole proposition. It's absolutely fantastic, so I'm very grateful to them. It was really, really good. Well, it's basically 3 days of mentoring with fantastic mentors, from lawyers to venture capitalists to people who've been on the G2I course maybe a couple of years before and have got their investment and have got a successful startup. That actually was really useful. To people who can look at your presentation, to see what it looks like, to telling you, no, it's too long, cut it down, make it more snappy. All sorts of different people to tell you different things, all absolutely fascinating, very useful information. That's for 3 days. And then on the last day, you have to do a pitch yourself, and then you're up against the other people on the course, which is also fantastic to be in amongst other people with startups. A lot of exchange of really useful information. And the last day you do the pitch, so then you're ready to go out into the big wide world. The most terrifying thing I've always found is standing up in front of a crowd of people. More than actually, I've been on TV a few times, so I'm much more frightening than that. So it was quite terrifying, but the more you do a pitch, that was the first proper pitch that I did, the more you do it, the easier it becomes, because it is quite formulaic. You have to put in all the information that you know they want to hear, like your exit strategy, your revenue models, all those things are things you have to put in. So in the end, you don't really have to be nervous about it. You just have to make sure it's a good pitch. So I learnt that, and the practice of doing that pitch was also really, really helpful. I think it can be a danger, and I have heard this from other entrepreneurs, if you get funding too earlier on, because then you throw it around, spend it on things that aren't really necessary. Whereas if you get the funding at a slightly later stage, when you really know what works, when you really know what's necessary, then you can spend it in a far more useful way. I think you should always consider the money you get as your own money. How would you spend it? Not, oh, let's have a party, let's do this. Let's really spend it on the most crucial things, because you'll find that it runs out very, very quickly. We didn't really need money in the beginning because it was the first stage. In the first year, the site was free. In the second year, by the way, it's been going since January 2007. In the second year, we started charging. So it brings in between £5,000 and £8,000 a month at the moment. So we don't really need money for the UK. What we are looking for, and we may have, is investment to expand internationally and to build a VIP section too. We've had a lot of interest from America, some from Canada, from other countries in Europe where we have had publicity as well. We know that it would work internationally. So at the moment we're reconstructing the whole site to enable us to scale up and also to allow different subdomains for different territories. So really what we need funding for at the moment is not to just carry on being a niche site in the UK, is to build to a global brand. And that money would go into marketing and PR internationally. We have an investor who's very interested in investing. She totally gets the idea, loves it, completely believes it can be a global brand. This is a fantastic kind of investor, the one that we're talking about, because she wants to be involved. She's works in the city, and but I don't think she'd be too hands-on telling us how to do it. That could be a danger. I know that other people have found an investment with a business angel who wants to change everything in their company, won't allow them to do it the way they want to. And I think it's crucial for the founder of the site to stick to their vision, to keep their vision in mind, to not get derailed by someone from the outside telling them what to do. An investor can be a dangerous thing if they try and change what you originally saw as the gap in the market. We're reconstructing the site for the next, it'll probably take 2.5 months more. It's a major, major reconstruction. It'll be a state-of-the-art site, brilliant site, because we're rebuilding it from scratch. I've had to learn all about different programming languages, and actually, so it's going to be in a much better programming language, scalable for international traffic, and all sorts of new features too. We are also hoping to get this investment so we can pay for international marketing and PR, which will be crucial. Also got a few TV possibilities in the pipeline, possibly 2 different ideas for starting a TV show, because I've now got various contacts in the TV world. That would really help to boost the whole site. And I've got an agent in New York to do a book with my main contact in New York. And so all sorts of things around the whole site which will help to promote it are sort of being put in place at the moment. The 3 pieces of advice that I would give are test your product first. Don't spend a whole load of money on it thinking it'll work. If you try and build it cheaply so that you can rebuild it later on if it does work. I would never have known how to build the site I'm having rebuilt now right at the beginning, because it's a lot about user interaction, what the users want. Secondly, I would really suggest you try and do it on as little money as possible. Cut corners, don't waste money. When you do get your funding, use it on the most important things, which will be putting the name out there, getting the name known to people. That is very, very important. And thirdly, I would say work with people who totally are passionate about your brand, who get it, who aren't just in it for making some money, who just get what you're trying to do. I think that's so, so important, to work with other people who love the idea.